Hello. I gotta make a quick fix for my friend Sir Knifes a lot. He needs Dongamet content, or he gets the sweats. Let's take a look at this. Cold steel. Katana Machete. Oh, she's lovely. Got her recently. I was watching Scab of Choir Boys Outdoors presenting his cold steel collection. I saw the Katana Machete. I said, man, I gotta get me one of these probably. And yeah, I found somewhere that was selling. It's the South Africa cold steel. So that's the one to get, right? The South Africa 1095. And I couldn't stand the handle. Although actually, when I was using it, I didn't really notice the handle so much because I was into using it. But it's this plastic stuff, nasty kind of texture to it, plasticky feeling. And so yeah, here we go with the hemp twine wrap. And that is super grippy. And this thing is devastating. And also, I read in, I think it was Space Ghost comment section, a guy saying that the toughest katana, a katana guy, saying that the toughest katana he ever tried was the cold steel katana machete. And there are these bushcrafters try and break them, and they can't break them. I expect Joe X probably broke one by now. Anyway, I've been honing gently, but this came screaming sharp, zero edge on it, but very, very burry, wiry kind of edge. And that'll tend to, if you throw that kind of edge straight into hard use, it tends to kind of rip and what have you. So I tidied it up a bit, and let's see if I can slash a bit of this hemlock bark in midair or something like that. I just had coffee. I'm all jittery. Probably won't even be able to pick this up. There we go. 1, 2. Hopefully that came over in the filming. Now, this is all hemlock. Here's the fence I'm making. I go out and cut down these little trees. I can get 1, 2, or 3 of these maybe. Yeah, you stack the thicker ones on the bottom. So I need this to be about 5 foot high. So I'm going to have to pull this all down. This is proof of concept. I have to pull it all down and rebuild it a bit, putting more thicker ones in. Or maybe I can just take the top 2 or 3 layers off and then... Anyway, I cut them, I load them on that trailer and bang my way back out of the forest. And this is my system. So my neighbor Jim gave me this thing a while back, this sawhorse. But let's pause. Take a look at the Swiss buck. Anyway, yeah, I load my pole on here and I put it into that V there, and then I can show you one of my knives for doing the processing. But first, I think it was from Patrick Gerst, I learned about the Swiss buck. So, yeah, this is really awesome. I found one with the pocket sheath. The belt sheath, toy. And so what I figured out was that it doesn't come with the toothpick and tweezers. And there are also no scissors on this. And that's not really a big deal anyway, because at the moment I'm perennially carrying this mini Swiss Army knife. And there's no toothpick there either. I lost the toothpick, but I will get one of my cinnamon flavored toothpicks and whittle it down and jam it in there, if I remember. And that's a proper emergency toothpick, and because it's whittled down, you can really get into the gaps between your teeth with that one. But when I bought my titanium fidget saw, Tightener brand, I also saw that they sell this thing. Here, use this dog chewed bar oil. Put that there. So, this is a toothpick, and this is an ear cleaner. or a nose picker, I guess, or a nail head for, you know, tamping down in your pipe, or all kinds of uses for this, actually. I've already found multiple uses for this little stabby point, for this little thing, and you can also take this off and pop that on there. And it's a pretty mean little toothpick, huh? Take someone's eye out with that. Stab them in the carotid artery 20-30 times with that. Quick succession. Game over. You know, for the people who like self-defense and all that stuff. Me personally, I'm just into being a non-viable target. You know, now you wouldn't punch a crazy person. So, we looked at the Swiss bark. Let's Hi, you're on camera.
What?
You're on camera.
Bye.
Bye. $600 and something subs, wife reveal. Okay, so here's one of the knives. The most recent one. The Camillus something 9.5. Going Triphasic on the grind. Slowly mutating. Yeah? No more serrations. We've thinned this out massively. Practically zero edge here. A little bit convexed. This, you still got a little, that original hollow that looks like a flat grind until you take the crappy coating off. Ran over on the grinding wheel there. Don't have a belt grinder at the moment. I took it to pieces last year when I was looking for a magnet. I dropped on the floor. I thought it went in the belt grinder. So I took it to pieces and I never... Anyway, you can imagine with two hands, pretty simple to get in here. And this bark will peel right off like that in strips. So it's just a little fidgety getting the start going. But when you have something shaped like this, that's pretty good shape to get in there. And then nuts. See all these nuts, different size nuts. There are various ways you can attend to these nuts. You know, usually we've already got them peeled. But, you know, broadly speaking, I could say you could kind of tap into them. Which is, you know, if you've got a smaller knife, you got to tap in this way first. And then come a point, you can start going in this way. If you just go like that, it's going to lock in. But you start going in at an angle, and you work your way around. If you got the other hand, you can kind of roll the pole. Yeah, eventually it's nice and smooth like that. Because things like this, if you're handling them, if you're carrying them around, if you like bash up against the fence with your leg, anything like this, that could even cut you, it could prang you, take your eye out. So we take all of them off. That's more than half the work. That's a lot of labor, taking off all these nuts. I mean, here you can see one that pretty much got it with the chainsaw. Oh no, I did that with a knife. So that's if you bash them good and hard, you just take the whole thing off, right? Especially if you've got a proper chopper. You got to get good accuracy, you know? Because if you dig in, then you make a mess. So many knots. I got a sore shoulder really from doing all these knots. Here I discovered that when they're really big and knobbly like that, it can be kind of fun to just leave it. You know, could take the whole thing off, but like that, it doesn't really hurt anymore. And there are all sorts of little, you know, these little things were probably little twigs sticking out. They'll jab you. That one still will. There you go. And when you first peel them, it's like feels like a sweaty skin. It's all damp and slick and fun, especially if it's warm. So yeah, I'm starting to think that really the way to go is to power through rather than do a lot of tap, 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 tap. It's very fatiguing. But like I say, if you're going to power through, you need to get your accuracy right. Because it won't do if you just cut the top off, and it won't do if you just dig straight in. Right? But if you hit it right, and then if you got the Burke River Vengeance or something really heavy and chunky like that, then you got enough weight, you can just kind of slide along and bah, go straight through. But a knife like this doesn't quite have that power or that sharpness. But I mean, it was thick before, and it's definitely, you know. Try this. Oops. That sucked. Thought I'd get the whole corner off there. Accuracy issues. Didn't even cut. Yeah, probably not very sharp, practically, this thing right now. I don't know how well it holds an edge, like in terms of, you know, the micro edge there, but I'm not, from all the whacking I've been doing, I'm not seeing any damage, and it's pretty thin. But yeah, I haven't really gotten it that sharp because I just keep grinding on it with low grit diamond files and stuff.